Yeah.
But
I know I felt really bad because Nick was like
but-
really thrown in there.
But Aubrey and Matthew just got started too, and one other person, I think. So it might not be that different. I don't know.
What was the question?
There's a person that missed the 10 o'clock meeting, and we're debating if this meeting would be helpful to them. And Vita.
I think they could follow along with what we have here, but then they're going to need some additional stuff. I don't think there's a reason for them not to be here.
I'll just message them.
Just reply in the thread because it's right below them. Or I could add them in the with a pointy finger. Pointy finger is very useful. But I guess on mobile it might not mean. Well, all right. Good morning, everybody, and or afternoon, and or evening.
Caroline, where are you? Is that your farm? Full dog farm. It's so cute.
I thought the bird noises were coming from her place, but no.
Oh, I think they're
Quentin.
from mine.
Yeah.
I'm got an active bird feeder. Right. I think what's the time now?
2 past the half hour.
I also need just to scan Kate. Where's Kate at?
She sounded like she was going to be fairly busy today, but I don't know if that means for the stand-up too.
Well, let's maybe just get started. We can say welcome to, we've got 2 new team members, Aubrey and Matthew. Also both from Suffolk, probably, I think. Yes. Yeah. So they were on a call this morning with David, and we're going to be trying to get them up to speed with the rest of you guys. So welcome to you too. Just, you know, like setting out how this meeting's going to look as usual. We've got maybe just checking that everyone has action points, whether there's any blockers that anyone's come across, you know, if they did any work on the weekend or, you know, today, and then kind of maybe outlining a little bit of what this week's going to look like, if we know that yet, and then getting updated on the kind of progress that we've made on the TRO, eviction moratorium form, and the 209A. And then we've got management, and here's Vita, and Vita. This has just been thrown in the deep end, I guess. Okay.
Welcome, Vita.
Welcome. Yeah. So to get started, I think and of course we've got Caroline's, you know, readability tip of the day. If you haven't thought of one yet, I think you better get started. I think that
we can't hear you.
You're muted.
You're muted, Caroline.
Maybe what we can do is we can just check in with the different groups that have already been teamed up, and then I know that Nick, Aubrey, and Matthew, and I think there's a couple of other team members who want to get started on new forms. We can kind of just figure out what they're going to be doing. So, or assign, you know, figure out who to talk to offline to figure out what they're going to be doing. So just next on my screen is Sinead and Finola. So how are you guys doing? You're still working on your form?
Myself and Finola, I think we're almost done. We just have to do the preview page, but we're trying to work on that today and we kind of can't figure it out. So other than that, yeah, I don't know. I'm using the basic questions and I just can't seem to figure out, there's like 3 codes before you even go into the kind of thing.
I think maybe we could put that to, I'm very cautious of putting everything towards Quentin because we're trying to spread out the knowledge a little bit, but does anybody here on this call know how to answer Sinead and Finola's questions, save for Quentin, who has time to help them? Should I preface that?
If it's similar to a PDF, then I got it. Otherwise, I can look it up. But
I think what we would do. Yeah. So part of why I did the eviction moratorium form was to kind of be a model. So I think that'll be like it should be pretty simple to look at that as the model. And I tried to do some comments, but yeah, I would say let's get somebody who hasn't done it to learn, and I'm happy to be a resource too for that call. And then just with the goal of writing down the steps so the next person can do it.
Is it like a regular PDF or?
So it is using some of the new variables that may not be in the automated generator. So that's something that's a little bit different. And then you would see how it works it's actually not that much like a PDF. Actually, I
I'm
think
just very cautious.
the way
and I
signatures
can
work is
watch?
really different.
We're
The way
going
signatures work is
we're going into the actual issue here, and I'm very cautious of doing that. And I think that something that Jody mentioned to me earlier is that what we could try and do is we could, make sure that people are signed up and that they're going to reach out to each other offline. And then we check in the following day and just make sure that that issue has been resolved. And then maybe if they have any feedback, we can capture that so that people can learn going forward. So does that sound good? I'm just want to check. Is Michelle gonna be working with Sinead and Finola on that?
That is what we were working out. So I think Quentin is going to be in charge of that, and I might join on to learn this time, and jump on. Next
right,
time.
and then you can figure it out the next time.
Or another option, Michelle, if you want, you could just take a look at that file and ask me questions before you try it on your own. I could just be on the call listening in to help as needed. So either of those is fine with me.
Okay. I'd rather watch, and absorb. So.
Okay.
Okay. Cool.
I'll leave it to you guys to liaise offline. Okay. Next team that I'm looking at on my screen. James Richardson. Did you get a haircut? Jody, what's your background? Looks so good. Okay, James, go, shoot.
So we met with Kate earlier this morning, and she gave us some things to work on with our form. So basically, we're just kind of like refining it right now and making it more easily readable for people.
Okay, so you guys are just kind of refining the interview process right now. It's still you're no major blockers.
No major blockers yet.
Okay, touch wood. Right. Eleni, no, you're with James. You're with James and. Right, so you guys are all on the same page. Then the last team is Mia, Jack, and Vinny. I'm not sure who's going to speak. Mia? Okay, you unmute there so quickly. Go.
Yeah, so I think we have pretty much finished our form, and we probably are ready for an SME review with Kate or or the testing.
Okay, I think maybe SME review is the next step. I might stand corrected though if anyone else wants to jump in there. No? Okay, SME review then. I know Kate's not on this call, and I'm very conscious of kind of assigning her stuff when she's not here because I'm not sure about her availability. So could we check in offline just to see when that can be done? And if that's something that's going to be holding you guys up, then maybe what we can do is actually just, I'm not sure if we have a new form to assign people, but we're gonna speak about this in the management meeting afterwards. We'll reach out to you guys offline about the next steps going forward with that, either SME review or moving forward with a new form, depending on Kate's availability and other SME's availability. Caroline, we can't hear you. You're unmuted, but it's very.
How about now?
Yep, we can hear you now.
No, I can't hear you. Okay. All right. So when you introduce teams, can you just remind us which form when people are talking about the form they're working on, can we just ask them to say what form it is?
Okay, that's a very good idea.
Now I can't hear you. Great.
Okay, let's just give her a thumbs up.
Yes. Okay.
Maybe we can just, because we've kind of gone through all the team. Well, we last team is Mike and Tyler, but they're not actually. Tyler's not on here. So maybe we get an update from Mike on you and Tyler's form.
Yeah, I'm still just tweaking the interview right now.
Can you just quickly say which form it is for everyone?
Oh, it's the motion to vacate default judgment.
Right.
So I'm building the interview and I'm tweaking it right now. I'm just trying to make sure it's in the right order and everything works out. And then I was just talking to Quentin. We're gonna work on implementing the docx file tomorrow.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, brilliant. And Tyler, I'd love to speak with you guys as well.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Tyler's gonna be on the call tomorrow.
Oh, great. Okay. So then I'm just going to quickly go around again. You guys can say what form you're working on. Sinead and Finola. I'll just say one person from each team. Go
The
for it. Yeah.
notice of limited appearance.
Right. Got it. Everyone moved around on my screen now. Okay, James.
Complaint for contempt.
Got it. Okay. Got Mike's. And then Mia, you can speak for the guys team.
It's the generic motion form, like the general motion form for family law.
Got it. And then what we're going to do is we've got Nick here, we've got Aubrey, we've got Matthew. We're going to be talking about this, I think, in the management meeting. We know assigning new forms and kind of making new groups and stuff like that. So what we'll do is we'll either reach out to you offline or probably offline or in tomorrow's stand-up if we haven't reached out to you before then. So then the next thing that we wanted to talk about, or maybe Caroline, do you have a readability tip for us as a little like amuse-bouche? Oh, she's struggling with the sound. Okay, can you? Oh, okay. You can just type it.
Now?
Yeah, we can hear you now, yeah.
Okay, I can't hear you. My readability tip is, do you know what contractions are? When you have a can't or don't or won't, anytime you see a contraction, try and spell it out. So will not, cannot, do not. That's today's readability tip.
Thanks, Caroline. That's great.
Were we going to do a show and tell with anybody's work?
I was thinking, do we do that in the stand-ups? I'm very conscious of people's time, and this is kind of like, we didn't actually plan anyone's show and tell, so I was thinking we could maybe split this, allocate a certain day in a, one day a week for like show and tell.
I thought there was a pair last week that you said, all right, you guys, you're spared this time, but on Monday you'll have to show your work or something. Was that Michael and somebody? Michael and Tyler?
Oh, that was them telling us something that they've learned. So Mike, you want to tell us something that you've learned?
I mean, I don't think it's anything else that nobody else knows, but I just learned how to use functions, so that helps.
Could you expand a little bit on that, please?
Yeah, I was using a function to implement a URL attachment. So for the motion to vacate default judgment, they need like a legal defense to an eviction. And I just had a URL that was put in so that they could click it and go see what possible legal defenses are.
Cool.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Does everybody understand what that means? Put your hand up if you understand what that means. Jody's just flipping through backgrounds here.
It's a URL attachment.
And for those who can't be seen, do the thumbs up
link.
Emoji or whatever.
What I'm thinking is maybe adding a little extra task for Mike, and you could just do like a paragraph writing up on that in the code channel.
Because I don't think a lot of people have actually used the function.
Learned that. Yeah. Okay. So that would be really, really helpful if you wouldn't mind just doing a paragraph.
Sure.
Kind of just basically, you can just watch the video afterwards and just
maybe with a link to some resources if you know them. If you just learned it, then
yeah. Okay, sure. Thank you so much, Mike, and thank you for Michelle for reminding me to call on somebody.
To put you on the spot.
Yeah. Right.
Thanks, Michelle.
Okay. You did well though. Good job.
Happy to help.
Okay, so then we are at 45 minutes. 15 minutes left, right? So I think what we're going to try and transform Mondays into doing is like outlining what the priorities for the week are and kind of like setting up that going forward. But unfortunately, we haven't done that yet because we still have our management meeting coming up. So I think we might just outline that on Tuesday. But right now, everybody seems like they have an action point, save for
except what about
Mia,
the new
Jack,
folks?
Save for Mia, Jack, and Vinny, who we're going to tell offline, and then Matthew, Aubrey, Nick. And Beta, welcome. Hi.
Hello.
You've actually got Caroline's favorite background on. It always makes me think of like she's like a little ant. Caroline. Okay, so Beta, welcome. We did kind of throw you in the deep end here, but we will be doing like a proper onboarding session. But we thought it might be nice just for you to jump on and kind of see what the stand-ups look like. So sorry that this was a bit of, Nick kind of knows all about this because this was him on Friday. He just jumped on like, what's going on?
No, I'm sorry that I missed the one at 10 a.m. I only actually I think my notifications were off and I didn't actually get the message until I had opened the app and seen it.
So don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We'll make a plan. Everything's fine. So Tyler will, when he sometime today, will send you something, or I'll just jump in and send you that. But we'll basically, for the 4 people who aren't part of teams yet, we will be finding roles for you, pairing you up perhaps, and maybe moving that forward during the course of today.
Also, if you want to take a look at the link that David posted when he posted about the 10 o'clock meeting, that might be useful.
Yeah, so that even, yeah, so that you can, we did basically episodes, Teaching Tuesday episodes 1 and 2 effectively, and then everyone was going to go and look at episode 3 on their own. So you could give those a try.
Okay, thank you.
So now I just wanted to get an update from, I'm thinking, Quentin and Caroline on the housing, the eviction moratorium form. When we left off, sorry, someone.
I see Caroline.
Caroline
was just
Caroline's going to be back in 2 ticks. Okay, we'll talk to Quentin. Quentin, do you have any update for us on where, I remember we left off with Mariah, maybe going to pull the trigger on that one? What was happening there?
So she sent out the form. We're already getting some feedback from someone who used it in court today, I think. At least that was their plan. So we'll hear more.
That's fantastic.
And Mariah's
That's
working
really
on the pro se revisions. I'm not sure. Maybe Caroline might have an update for when those will be ready, but I think they had some big changes. So if it's not early this week, it'll be soon. And I think it'll probably be worth the wait.
Right. So, and I mean, maybe when Caroline's back, we can actually just have a talk about like when we're going to envisage that kind of the trigger getting pulled on the pro se version. Yeah. Okay. Then the next one is the housing TRO, which is contingent upon signatures from the court. Do we have any update on that, David?
Did we pass the 209A?
I always do the TRO first because it's easier.
It's smaller, I guess.
Sure, go ahead. 209A.
TRO is just waiting for we're just waiting for the MOU to be signed. So
last check was 2 signatures outstanding. Do you have any update on that?
I have been told that someone will check to see if they signed.
All right. Very exciting. Okay. So hopefully good news tomorrow. And then the 209A. Right. Perfect. Who do we look for an update from that? Quentin is unmuting.
I think that Caroline and I hopefully will get to a mergeable state with, she's made a lot of changes in the last week, so we're going to try to merge those right after this call. And
language changes.
Not just language changes, so we'll do that merge. And then once we have that, we'll do some triage of the different outstanding issues, so then we can both be working on those simultaneously. I think that's my plan. So we'll get a much better version probably tomorrow, was when we'll be able to get those changes integrated by the end of the day tomorrow.
Okay, fantastic. And it's currently in a private beta with advocates, and I think maybe Kate might be able to speak to them. I'm not sure.
I mean, I haven't gotten feedback. I don't know how to make them. I mean, I almost wonder if like part of I mean, you know, we're telling them it's quicker for you to use. It might be quicker, it might be easier. We hope we help you. I don't know. When it comes down to if there's like, as a lawyer, if there's forms that I fill out a lot, it's always just going to be quicker. Like I can go through them just like and do them. So I wonder if they're not using it, or I don't know. But I haven't gotten feedback.
What do you think is the killer feature, Kate, that we should get? Because I think with
the signing, because I hear people talking like killer as in bad or good.
No, good. Killer, good feature.
Yeah, the signing. I mean, that's what I've been like talking up, because that's every lawyer I know is having a huge. It's a huge pain to get signatures.
I think they're about to put a special rule through that I'll let advocates sign on behalf.
Yeah.
So
it's
want
not there
to be
now,
able to see it though, right? That's not the full
I mean, maybe
solution.
they're using it and not giving feedback, or restraining order numbers are down because people are trapped with their abusers, I've heard.
Mm-hmm. Do you want me to, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, we can hear you, Caroline.
I'll try and track down the 3 advocates that I reached out to, and just get in touch with them and find out what's going on. If they've had a use for it, if they are, I mean, even if they are doing 209As right now, I mean, that, like you say, if they're not even doing 209As, then they've not got a opportunity, right?
Yeah,
So
because when I reached out to like Respond, which wasn't on our initial list, like they were super, she was like, this is awesome, this could be
Yeah.
so great, but I haven't heard from them.
Yeah.
Today
Yeah.
I was having a conversation with someone from Casa Mirna, so I think about other stuff, and this came up because she was like, oh, I've been having such trouble getting signatures on 209As. I'm like, I might have a tool for you.
Because sometimes,
With
you know,
Made,
the
what-
word doesn't pass through. Like you give the information to one person, and other people don't know. And honestly, like you say, advocates, they're lawyers, they're just used to doing things themselves, and it's easier because they've got their own system. And I can certainly see, as an advocate, I'd be halfway through a paper one, and then I go, oh God, there's this program. You know, it's like you just forget, because in some ways you just have your systems.
Yeah.
So
But then, like, I've had advocates expressing excitement. Like, you emailed, when you initially emailed the people at Reach, I had a different advocate that I just happened to know from Reach reach out to me, be like, I heard about this through the person you reached out to. Can I be on it too? And like, so I know, like, I'm getting
So
that
exclusivity
feedback,
is
but then
good.
we're not getting the response, feedback from them.
Well, it also might
actually-
be, they might not be finding it, they might have expected something different, right? They might have expected something geared towards legal advocates, whereas it's more geared towards a pro se audience, right? So it explains and so on and so forth.
I don't think that's the issue. I mean, certainly with the people that we tried it with, because they already know what it looks like. They've already seen it and they'd worked on it. So I don't think that's the case with them. But I do think it's one of these issues where you tell one person and nobody else, it just doesn't get, it doesn't get spread around, because people are, especially when people are busy, you know, they just forget, you know, it's not part of their regular thing. So
would the takeaway be that Caroline's going to reach out to, you said, Caroline, 3 advocates that you were
I think it's
thinking of?
3. I think it's 3. Yeah.
Could you
really
perhaps
just
do
need a
that
few
before
people to be
tomorrow's stand-up?
Say that again, Maeve.
Really powerful.
Quentin's doing like a robot thing. I don't know.
I was
Does
talking
anyone
over,
else? Just me?
No, I didn't hear that.
I was just saying that perhaps Caroline could reach out to those people before tomorrow's stand-up, and we maybe get some feedback before then.
Yeah, I mean, if we wanted to reach a broader audience, I wonder if like we could reach out to the court service centers, or if that would not be allowed.
Yet. Not
Okay.
yet. I don't think.
Oh, not yet. Okay.
Not
So,
yet.
Can I just a suggestion? If we are ready to have a bigger audience, I found it takes like 3 contacts. Like people have to see a demo 3 different times, and like doing it with everybody who you want to use it, not just like a point person. So like a webinar style thing where a bunch of people at once is really.
I mean, I feel like I've tried to offer, like I've said, I'll sit down, I'll go through it with people.
What if you recorded? I'm sorry. What if you actually recorded a video introduction and we could pass the video around?
People still need to, it's this time thing, you know.
No. I understand. I'm just saying that.
Watch it, even to watch a video. That's what I mean.
No, I understand, but the point is that then you don't have to you don't have to schedule it. Someone can look at it when they look at it. You can share it more broadly. I'm not saying it's the solution. I'm saying
it could be reference material, even if we do end up doing the video, it could maybe be the second time they see it. If Quentin's talking about 3 times, right? It could possibly be that kind of resource.
But
because if they're not going to watch it on their own time, if they actually need people there in order to watch it, then maybe we can at least reduce the repetitious part.
We could also probably share that with folks who are not the ones that necessarily have to be, like, some people might not want to just jump in and try something without knowing what it is, but could, jump through a little video. I'm not saying it's the solution. I'm just saying if we're spitballing about ways to
I mean, I think Caroline reaching out is that might give us an indication of why, and like where is this not happening. And then maybe depending on what Caroline hears, I don't know, maybe I could talk to Laura and see if, she has ideas too.
And also, we just this morning turned on tracking on the testing server. So now we'll actually see if people are looking at it. So we didn't think to turn that on until this morning. So
that's
we could also,
but
I also think there hasn't been any feedback coming in through the feedback forms, but I can check that on the spreadsheet in case something got turned off with the Zapier hookup. But I think that might also be. I didn't know we were tracking that. Didn't think of that. Yeah, but like if we have the that information, that would also be useful.
Okay,
I
so
will say, like,
the 2 points. Sorry.
one more thing, which is just like the killer app for our eviction defense tool wasn't signatures, although we didn't have a pandemic that where people couldn't be in person. It was the fact that we had the answer and discovery, like that, you know, that's 2 forms that are the same questions. So like that cut in half the time. But I don't know if there's like a way to sell it that's similar.
Right.
A feature that we can do on the computer that just doesn't work. And it might be something we haven't added that we should prioritize.
The 209A, they'd have to enter their names a bunch of times, right? Or is it?
Yeah, so it's 8 forms where you have to put the names in. So
Yeah, there is like a lot of duplicate information on those forms that
That's a
now
very
they only
good
have to
point,
enter
Britton.
once.
Sometimes, yeah, so it's just a framing thing. That was like the thing I led with usually.
Okay.
Avoiding the
I like
duplication of
A way I
work.
can't
That's a
really
good
sell
point.
it to advocates is half the time, sometimes when I look at packets that have been completed by advocates, I notice required forms that aren't in there. And
you're not, you can't say
You don't
that.
want to emphasize that to advocates.
She's conscious of the fact she's being recorded right now.
The computer
people are
accurately
human.
identifies the correct forms.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just very conscious of people's time. It's now.
So the other thing I wanted to bring up real quick is that if it would be useful, Kate might be able to identify someone for me to work with to identify which fields on the defendant information form or on some of the other forms really need their fields, overflow from their fields accounted for. And then handle that in various ways, whether it's limiting character input or, some other way, just so that we make sure that there isn't unhandled overflow where it needs to be handled. That's all. Fien?
And then I'll just say that we can sort of continue the 209A and some strategy questions with the management meeting because it's Management Monday.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking as well, so that we can
let
the rest of the team members kind of go off. And I just wanted to re-emphasize that Matthew, Aubrey, Nick, I don't know where Nick's from. Everyone just keeps moving around. Nick over there, and Ambita. Am I saying that right? Is it Ambita?
Yes.
Why did I hear the pause?
It's close enough, but it's not a word that is in English, so it's fine.
No, it's not fine. Say it properly so we all know.
Anvita.
Anvita. Perfect. Now we all know. Okay. Anvita. Now no one has an excuse to say it wrong because it's recorded.
I have an MRI excuse, but nobody has.
Everybody except for Michelle. Anvita. Okay, perfect. Well, it was lovely to meet you guys, and we will be reaching out to you offline with specific action points going forward. They'll be different depending on your level of being in the project so far, and then the remaining teams, save for Mia, Jack, and Vinny, you guys are all going to carry on working on your forms, and with Mia, Jack, and Vinny, we'll give you guys an action point, either SME review or moving on to another form. Does anybody have any questions or issues that they want to raise before we jump off this call? You got 5 seconds. No? Okay. Right.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you guys so much.
Right.
Not only free, you are banished.
No, they're not banished. People can
really?
stay on if they want. Right?
Okay.
We've established that.
If you would love another
We're
meeting.
recording them, right? We're recording them.
It's recording.
So
And
recorded.
that was the.
Okay. Bye, guys.
What I'm going to do is I'm going
to make them. Yeah.
I'm going to stop recording and then I'm going to try recording again and see if I can get 2 files as opposed to have to go and edit later. So.